Until last month, YOUSEF KATYAB taught at a school in the village of dasht-e-archi, 65 kilometers from Kunduz, where he now works. He says a graduation ceremony at his former religious school was attacked on April 2nd by helicopter gunships.
It was a dark, tragic day in our village. For hours, helicopters were above us firing heavy machine guns. Later, they dropped bombs. We could not approach to help the people there.
I see this as a very brutal attack. After 2 hours, I went to the area. Children were killed and wounded. I saw 32 dead bodies with my own eyes. My family members were also killed and injured.
Afghan government leaders said the air attack targeted a Taliban gathering, but it was mostly children who arrived at the hospital. A new UN report says at least 30 children were killed and 51 injured. By far the majority of the 107 casualties as rockets and heavy machine guns fired on a civilian gathering. Witnesses in the Taliban-controlled area say the casualty total is higher. The government says the total is far lower and that the Taliban has frightened villagers into exaggerating the number of dead. 2 days after the attack, Taliban flags continue to fly over the village. Taliban fighters have controlled this area for years.
It was not a religious gathering. It was an area with strong Taliban presence. The planes that conducted the operation carried out strikes against terrorist groups. As a result, 18 high-ranking Taliban commanders were killed and 12 other commanders were wounded.
While the government says there were civilian casualties, the Afghan Human Rights Commission says overall the Taliban and opposition groups kill far more people.
We call on the opposition that they should not use the civilian as a human shield during their operation or gathering. Clearly there was Taliban flags and Taliban's banners and some armed people in the gathering. But of course the government has to be very, very careful and should be responsible for protection of the civilian.
But the calls for accountability and transparency mean little to YOUSEF KATYAB. His life, along with so many others, were forever changed in last month's airstrike. Jennifer Glasse, Al Jazeera, Kabul.